Busch Memorial Stadium as the St. Louis Cardinals try to make it 2-0. Dugout show, Bill White of the Philadelphia Phillies. Bill, it's been a tough year.
Well, it hasn't been too tough. I've been lucky to play now close to 100 ball games. I think when the season started, they didn't feel that, or these team Moss felt that I wouldn't be able to play a game at all. So we worked fairly hard in spring training, and we watched that dive pretty much. And now I'm in pretty good shape, and we've played now maybe 10 or 12 games in a row, and I feel real good.
Now I've watched you go up from about 185 in batting average to 260, which is a respectable average.
Well, I don't know if it's respectable now, but you watched that a long time. It was about 7 years here when I started out around 100 and maybe end up at 300. But that's been the way I have played all through my baseball career, at least in the majors. And I have been very fortunate this year, I think, because when I really pulled the tendon the second time, I thought that that was it as far as baseball was concerned. But luckily, Dr. Middleman was down there. He looked at it, and he encouraged me. And Doc Bowman on your medical staff here did a real good job of helping our trainer with it. And now I've been able to play and just a little limp. And the muscle is becoming more strong each day, and I feel real good.
Well, this is almost like maybe adding another year to your career, Bill, because you haven't played that much.
Well, I don't know if it's going to add a year or detract a year, because nobody wants a first baseman who can't move quickly, and I still don't have the quickness that I had before. And I hope to be able to play at least one more year. I think it comes to a point where you've got to quit, and I've never really wanted to play too much past 35, and I'm getting pretty close to that age now.
Bill, to look back, when I first saw you when the season started, not even to talk about spring training, and to look at your move now, though, you've come such a long way.
Well, we have. Like I say, every time I come in here, I talk to Bowman, and he, yesterday, now for the first time, I started wearing regular shoes. I've been wearing shoes with maybe a 3/4 of an inch lift in the heel. And yesterday, I talked to my trainer, Joe Liscio, he spent 12 hours a day with me just about every day this season. And he controls Bowman, and we asked Bowman if it would be all right to wear the regular heel. So for the first time this year, I didn't wear the regular heel, and just cut down on limping, because with the 3/4 a length heel, I had to limp just a little bit.
The Cardinals fooled you this year?
Well, they didn't fool me. I think any club that would be this far out of the National League would fool you in that case. But we saw them in spring training, and we knew they had a good club. Roger Maris has always been a quality ball player. Orlando Cepeda has always been an all-star over here. And you add these two people to Kurt Flood and Bob Gibson and Julian Javier and the people of Lou Brock. We can't forget him because he kept you where you were the first part of the season. You had two quality ball players to line up like that, and you're going to go somewhere. The pitching did fool me.
Bill, you're going to be facing Bob Gibson now in a couple of minutes. What are you looking for? A change of pace?
No, Bob's going to be throwing fastballs, and I'm afraid they're going to be inside because he's watched me over 7 or 8 years, and he knows what I don't like. And we spent quite a few years together here. I suppose on the Cardinals, Bob and I are probably as close as anybody. And so he knows me. And the ball will be sliders inside and fastballs inside, and maybe one at my head. I don't know.
Kurt Flood, one of your ex-teammates.
Yeah.
Bill, you're still making a home in St. Louis.
We live in De Pere. Yes, we'll be here this winter.
You going to move?
I'd like to move to Philadelphia.
Why?
Well, the city is not the city that you see on the surface. I've enjoyed it. My kids have enjoyed it. We spent last summer there, and they got to see very much history here in Philadelphia. The Independence Hall and Betsy Ross's house. My little boy is 4 years old. He knows American history already. And we're going to live 40 miles outside of the city. And we got them down at Atlantic City, and they like that. They got them to New York, and they like that. So we're going to try the East Coast a little while.
Well, wherever you go, you've been great here, Bill, and I'm sure that if everybody could speak to you as I have an opportunity to now, they would say to you, many, many more years and much continued success. You've been a real credit to this game.
Thank you, Harry, and good luck to the Cardinals. And I know if they get in this thing, it isn't over yet, but I know they'll win for the National League.
I think they might have a chance to win.
Well, I hope they'll win the series. I'm not talking about this thing.
Okay, Bill White will be back in one moment.
How do you get to the other ship? We don't mind revealing that first you gotta start out with that circling feeling.
Actually, you start to become a blue chip company the day you make up your mind that you're going to try harder to give your customers more. Attitude makes the difference. And what better expresses Community Federal's attitude than the shirt sleeve feeling? That down-to-earth way of going. Isn't this the real reason why Community Federal has grown to be the largest federally chartered savings and loan association in the state of Missouri? The day we took off our coats is the day we started to become the blue chip of the savings business.
Earn a higher return on each dollar you own at Community Federal Savings and Loan.
Now 2 offices and 5,000 branches, the mailboxes to serve you.
The St. Louis Cardinals are on the air. Brought to you by Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser, Michelob, and Busch. When you're due for a beer, Busch does it. Gives all the satisfaction a cold glass of beer can give you. Busch, brewed the way beer was meant to be brewed. You can't say beer better. And by First National Bank in St. Louis, the full-service bank, here first of all to serve you. And by Sunray DX Oil Company and your DX dealer, who prove to you why Sunray DX is the oil company known by the customers we keep. Now it's time for St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
Tonight, the Cardinals play the Philadelphia Phillies here at Busch Stadium. And after tonight, only 5 home games remain. Good evening, everyone. We're at the ballpark once more for the second game of the Philadelphia series. Cardinals won the opener last night, and they're 9-4 against Philadelphia for the year. 3 ball games remain to be played in Philadelphia between these two clubs, and they'll be wrapping up this series here tomorrow night. It's a very comfortable evening at the ballpark. A bit more breezy than it has been as of late, and the breeze is blowing directly in from center field, but will not affect the play very much. Harry Carey and Jack Buck on hand with the play-by-play. And 2 right-handers will go at it. Rick Wise is the pitcher for the Phillies. His record is 9-10. He's 1-1 against the Cardinals this year. The Cardinal pitcher is Bob Gibson. He's making his second appearance since coming off the disabled list, and his first appearance at home since sustaining that broken leg against the Pirates. A lot of other baseball being played this evening. A lot of things to keep you up to date on. Right now, Charlie Jones, the public address announcer, is giving the lineups to the crowd, and we have a crowd of about 16,000 paid and about 3,000 youngsters. And now Bob Gibson is about to be announced as the starting pitcher here this evening. We'll see what the reaction is. And the crowd is glad to have Bob Gibson back in the pitching rotation. This broadcast is authorized under rights granted by the St. Louis National Baseball Club solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the description and accounts of this game without the express consent of the St. Louis National...
Before getting into the lineups, let's pause for identification. This is the Cardinals Baseball Network.
8 o'clock, KMOX, KMOX FM, St. Louis. Enjoy summer more. Get rid of all bugs with Gamicide Bug Killer. Up to 8 times more killing power. Non-toxic to humans and pets. Gamicide, a St. Louis product. It's 73 degrees.
Here are the lineups for the ball game. The visiting Philadelphia Phillies have Cookie Rojas at second base leading off, Tony Taylor at third, and Johnny Callison in right field. Tony Gonzalez is playing left and batting fourth. Johnny Briggs in center. Bill White is at first base. Clay Dalrymple is the catcher. A lot of left-handed batters in their lineup tonight. Bobby Wine at shortstop, and Rick Wise on the mound for the Phillies. Rojas, Taylor, and Callison. Gonzalez, Briggs, and White. Dalrymple, Wine, and Wise. 9 and 10 is the right-hander's record. The Cardinals have Lou Brock in left, Bob Tolan in center field. Roger Maris is in right. Orlando Cepeda at first, and Tim McCarver catching. Phil Gagliano at third. Julian Javier at second base. Dal Maxfield at short. And Bob Gibson, 11 and 6 on the mound. They're anxious to start this game. We had to give you the lineups in quite a hurry. The ball game about to start, and here for the play-by-play is Harry Carey.
Thank you very much, Jack. Hello again, everybody. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. Fastball in there, a strike call. And Bob Gibson really fired that one. McCarver the catcher, Gagliano at third, Maxfield at short, Javier at second, Cepeda at first. Brock in left, Tolan in center, Maris in right. The pitch. Slider a little bit outside. The count is even, the ball and the strike. Nobody on and nobody out. Rojas, Cookie Rojas with 3 homers and 40 RBI. Bob Gibson delivers. Here it is. High, pop foul. Out of play into the stand. A half moon shines over Busch Memorial Stadium. The Cardinals' magic number is 8. Into the windup, the pitch. Ground ball, Maxie to his left, up and throwing. He's out, one away. Dal Maxfield moving to his left. Boy, that little guy, I tell you, he's probably the most underrated man in baseball. You know, we got so many named stars on this ball club, you never even think about Maxie, except when the ball's hit towards him. Or when he comes to bat, when it requires a hit or a bunt, which he produces. Most underrated little shortstop. 1 out. Tony Taylor the batter, hitting .250. A wind-up by Gibson, the pitch. Oh, strike call. I got an idea Gibson wants to make up in a couple of weeks what he missed in 2 months. 1 strike, no balls. 1 out and nobody on. Bob Gibson facing Tony Taylor. Here's the pitch. Lined into the right field corner. Strike 2. 2 strikes and no ball. Cleveland 3. White Sox nothing. But the White Sox are batting a long time in the 6th. And they've changed pitchers for Cleveland. Culver. First game of a night doubleheader. Twins are losing at Washington. Here's the pitch. Sliced foul back and out of play. 2 strikes, no ball. 1 out and nobody on. White Sox got 2. And Cleveland leads 3-2 at the end of 6th. Tony Taylor digging in from Havana, Cuba. Here's the windup, the pitch. A little tap. He's going to beat it out if it stays fair, but it goes foul. 2 strikes, no ball. Theta Pinson homered with a man on the 2nd for the Reds, who now lead the Pirates 6-1 at the end of 2. Henry Aaron hit his 36th to tie up Jim Wynn. However, the Mets lead at Atlanta 3-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Swoboda hit one with 1 off for the Mets. 2 strikes, no balls, 1 out and nobody on. Here's the windup, the pitch. And it's high. 2 strikes and a ball, 1 out. Jim Lonberg, shooting for his 20th victory of the year, has a 1-0 lead at the end of 6 over Catfish Hunter. Reggie Smith's homer. Here's the pitch high.
2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out. Ball game in the first. No score. Delightfully cool evening. The crowd about 20,000. Now the signal given. Here's the pitch. High fly, right center. Bobby Tolan dashing back. He's got it. 2 out. Brock is playing left. Tolan's in center. Maris in right. Here's Johnny Callison hitting .266. The pitch. It's a curve in there, a strike call. Boy, Gibson looks sharp. Eddie Mesher and Bob Blaze bringing the notes up from the people from out of town. 1 strike, no ball, the pitch. And it's a curveball outside. The count is even to the ball and a strike with 2 outs. Johnny Callison, 13 homers, 63 RBIs, and hitting .266. People are here from the town I can't pronounce the name of. There's a line shot, base hit, right center. Maris going over on his second hop. Callison stops at first. They're here from Arkansas City, Kansas. Or Kansas City, Kansas. Or Arkansas City, Kansas. Anyway, they're from Kansas. They're also here from Kirkwood. It's Kirkwood night, and almost 1,000 people are here. Here's Tony Gonzalez, left-handed hitter. Second to Clemente in the fight for the batting championship. Gonzalez hitting .342. Clemente hitting .350. First pitch is inside. Are they kidding? There's a couple here celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. That's got to be a mistake. Nobody could be married 60 years. Here's the pitch. Swung. High hopper. Moxie's going to have to hustle. Out! Boy, there was a close play. Maxfield on a high hopper. Threw out Gonzalez. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We're going to the bottom of the first. No score.
Hello, this is Bob Richards. They say Americans are the hardest working people on earth, and they're probably right. But in a way, all that hard work can make us soft. We may eat haphazardly and not get enough of the right kind of exercise. So if you have just enough energy to run for the bus in the morning, take a tip from me. Begin your day with a 10-minute workout and a bowl of Wheaties. You'll be off to a better start. You'll get the exercise you need and the kind of energy you need to start the day. You see, there's a kernel full of whole wheat energy in every Wheaties flake. You get protein, wheat germs, vitamins, and iron, plus energy to burn. It's a great way to start the day. Wheaties, breakfast of champions.
A couple celebrating their 60th anniversary from Butler, Illinois. Let's just say they're 20 years old when they were married. That would mean living together 80 years. That's beautiful, isn't it? Never had an argument. Here's Lou Brock to lead it off. Batting .294, 19 homers, and 71 runs batted in. Lou Brock. Now the windup, and here's the pitch. Rick Wise, his curveball is low, ball one. The Phillies have Tony Taylor at third, Bobby Wine at short, Cookie Rojas at second, Bill White at first, Dal Rimple the catcher, Wise the pitcher. Here's the delivery. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. And Lou is on there. Lou Brock singles to center. That's his 15th game in a row that he has hit safely in. Brock now has 186 hits. He's only 14 away from the coveted 200 hits a year that everybody shoots for. Here's Bobby Tolan, left-handed hitter, hitting .251. Rick Wise gets ready. Throw to first, the runner back. Now the stretch. Here's the pitch. There goes Brock. Swung. Ground ball. White's only played first base. Boy, I wish Bobby hadn't swung at that one. Because Brock had a tremendous jump, but he'd have made it easily. In only 1 year has Brock ever had 200 hits previously. That was in 1964, and he had 200 right on the nose as he batted .315. Here's Maris. A runner in scoring position with a 1 out. Now the signal given. Rick Wise's pitch. Fastball outside. 1 ball, no strike. Wise wears glasses. Now the sign. Wise is 1-9, lost 10. The pitch, there goes Brock. Here's the ground ball up the middle, base hit. Brock's going to score. Brock was shooting for third base on that one, and when Myers singled to center, he scored standing up. 1-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Trying to reduce the magic number to 7. It becomes quite obvious that the Cardinals are either going to clinch the pennant in Philadelphia next week or are going to clinch it here. In a series starting 1 week from Thursday night against the Braves, September the 21, 22, 23, and 24. So it'll either be on the road in Philadelphia or here in St. Louis. Here's Cepeda, 1-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Maris gets back to first as the toss is over there. Raj just drove in his 51st run of the year. Now the pitch. It's a strike at the knees. Rick Wise really fired one. They're here from St. Ambrose Church tonight, and from Collierville, Tennessee. 1 strike, no balls, 1 run in, 1 out. Runner at first. Maris, the pitch. Strike! A good fastball, boy. He buzzed that ball by. Honeymooners are here. Jackie Gleason. No. From Columbia, Missouri. The daughter of one of the Baltimore Scouts, Byron Humphrey. Here's the stretch. The pitch. Inside. They're here from St. James, Missouri. There's a rooster here. She'll be 84, and Mr. Rooster will be 87. They're celebrating their 60th anniversary also on the 29th of this month. 2 strikes and a ball. He struck him out. Cepeda goes down swinging. And that'll bring
swing on McCarver. Batting .305. There's a Mr. Rooster and a Mrs. Rooster celebrating a 60th wedding anniversary. McCarver batting .305. Now to stretch. The pitch. High pop foul back and out of play. Strike one. Former Missouri University All-American and big insurance man now, Jim Kecker, is watching the ball game. McCarver with 13 homers, 62 RBI. Batting .305. Rick Wise gets set. Maris edging off first base. Now the stretch. The pitch. Outside. That evens in the ball and the strike. Crowd about 20,000, I would say, on a cool night. A gentleman named Ed Scorn is now 95 years old, celebrating by attending the game. 1 ball, 1 strike. Low and inside. 95. Boy, you can't beat that. Living a wholesome life. 2 balls, 1 strike. 1-0 in favor of the Cardinals. 2 men are out. Maris at first. McCarver waiting. The pitch. Curve low. Ball 3. Gagliano will be up there next. Boy, that Gagliano's, considering you're getting close to a World Series, when you make a major change in your lineup, it's rather significant. Phil's getting a lot of chances to play. 3 balls, 1 strike. That's quiet. Here's the pitch. Strike is called. Good curveball, 3-2. And now Maris will be going with the pitch. Three balls, 2 strikes. Signal given. Rick Wise is ready. Now the pitch. High pop foul back. Being chased out of play into the stand. Balls, 2 strikes. Now the signal given. Maris will be going with the pitch. 2 out. 1-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Rick Wise is set. There goes the runner. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle, but Rojas has got it over to first in time. So McCarver rolled to Rojas. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. At the end of 1, the Cardinals won, the Phillies nothing. Bert Campaneris just homered for Kansas City to tie up the Red Sox 1-1. You know, that meeting in the commissioner's office was supposed to produce an announcement this evening. We'll check our KMOX sports room. More information on it. Here's Johnny Briggs, left-handed batter. Bob Gibson delivers. Hung at a fastball and he missed. Gibson really throwing hard. Boy, you can see the improvement from one start to the other. Here's the windup. The pitch. He fouled tip, strike two. 2 strikes, no ball. Nobody on and nobody out. We're in the top of the second. The Cardinals are leading 1-0. Dick Hughes against Larry Jackson tomorrow night. Here's the pitch. He foul tip back. Here's a wire from Toronto, Canada. Says you're coming in loud and clear. Announce address for World Series tickets. Signed Lynn Clark, Toronto, Kansas. Here's a... Did it hit him? Yes! Or did it? No. It fouled tip. It actually hit the bat. That's what Shag Crawford indicated. And Gene Mock out on that. And Briggs says it hit him on the arm. And Shags tries to find a black and blue mark. Gene Mock comes out to talk to Johnny Briggs. Now we got a lot of messages of people who've had more anniversaries than 65. I'm sorry, but they don't count if you're not the ballpark. I'm sure there are many more than that all over. Two strikes, no ball. Johnny Briggs, the pitch, tap right back to Gibson. He's got it. Over to Cepeda for the out. One man up and one down. The story on the Kansas City situation is just coming in, and Bernie Fox of our producing staff at KMOX is getting the details. Here's Bill White, 1 out and nobody on. The pitch. It's high inside. White hitting 260. That doesn't sound like much, does it? But when you figure he could hardly walk for most of the season. Bouncing ball. Hooley coming in fast. He's up. Flips in time. 2 up, 2 down. They're here from Peoria, Illinois. The old Von Auken City. They're from Streator, Illinois. Here's Clay Dalrymple, the catcher. The pitch curve a little bit outside. Ball 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out. Nobody on base. Cardinals out in front, 1-0. Trying to reduce their magic number. Here's the line. The pitch. High pop line. That'll take an hour to get down. Cepeda's waiting for it. He's got it. Dalrymple popped to Cepeda. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. We go into the bottom of the second. The Cardinals won. The Phillies, nothing. The lifeline of any ball club is new talent. Every team has a team of experts in the field scouting for new players. At Anheuser-Busch, they also have a team of scouts in the field, specially trained experts, constantly searching for the best grains and hops for the brewing of Busch. No ball club is better than its talent. No beer is better than its ingredients.
And that's why you'll find the men of Anheuser-Busch in the fields and on the floor of commodity exchanges throughout the world, scouting for the best for Busch. You can't say beer better.
When you're due for a beer, Busch does it. Satisfies like no other beer can. Busch delivers all the satisfaction a cold glass of beer can give you. You can't say beer better than Busch.
Yeah. We go to the bottom of the second, and before we do, let's pause quickly. This is the Cardinals Baseball Network.
826 KMOX, KMOX FM, St. Louis. Temperature 73. Looking for a bargain in home comfort? Call AFCO, the American Furnace Company, at Mission 7, 1300.
Carey and Jack Buck from Busch Memorial Stadium. We're going into the bottom of the second. 1-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Here's Gagliano. Hitting .230. Here's Rick Wise's pitch. It's a strike, a good fastball. One strike, no ball. Cleveland 3, White Sox 2 at the end of 7. Baltimore 3, Detroit 2 at the end of 4. Here's a pitch. Oh, he's hit by a pitch ball. He's hurt. On his arm. On his wrist. Oh, he's doubled over in pain. Bob Bowman hurries out there. Red Shandy. Phil trying to walk by him. He is hurt. That was on the left hand. Either the wrist or the fingers. They want somebody to limber up. Eddie Bersu. He's hurting. There's a Mike Shannon going down. Mike Shannon goes down to limber up. He's wincing. He wants to walk down the line, and Bowman stays with him. And his knees kind of buckle as the pain takes its torture, as it were. That's kind of a nice phrase. The pain takes its torture. Got to remember that one. I think I'll mark it down. Phil wants to stay in the ballgame. I think it's the finger on the middle finger on the left hand. He's hit by a pitch ball. He's on at first base. He's going to stay in the ballgame. He's flexing his muscle now, his hand, his fist. And he's going to stay in there. Here's Javier with a runner at first and nobody out. The back of the left hand, it's really the middle finger that was hurt. Trainer Bob Bowman really pulled at that finger.
Maybe on that again tonight, Harry.
Yeah, maybe
may be passable now, but in a short while it's going to tighten up on him. It has to, as hard as he got hit.
All right, Phil takes the lead, and here's Javier. Batting .287, 14 homers, 58 runs batted in. The stretch. The pitch. Steve Reich over the outside corner to knee. Cleveland 4, White Sox 2 in the bottom of the 8th. Baltimore 4, Detroit 2 in the bottom of the 5th. One strike and no ball. Now the 5th. Holy swings, line drive, base hit. There goes Gagliano towards second. He had to hold up thinking the ball might be caught. Javier breaks his bat with a single to right. Short right. And the Cardinals have runners at first and second. Nobody out. Second inning. Already leading 1-0. Cincinnati murdering Pittsburgh 9-1 at the end of 3. I'll give you the report from the commissioner's office in a moment. Here's Moxie hitting .226, runners at first and second. The stretch. The pitch out, but they don't throw. Major League Players Association has agreed to withdraw charges of unfair labor practices against Kansas City A's owner Charles Finley. Charges have been filed with the National Labor Relations Board. Baseball Commissioner William Eckert made the announcement after meeting for 2 days with Finley, his attorneys, and A's players. Here's the pitch. Maxey swings. Fly ball, right field, might get over. Carlson's headed the wall. One run is in. Here's Carlson chasing the ball down. Here's another man around third. He holds. A double for Maxville.
Oh, that shows out a tough job, Harry. He had Gagliano running with Javier 2 steps behind. He had to send Gagliano home and hold Javier up at third, and they did a good job.
Eckert said he will review the suspension of pitcher Luke Krause, who was fined $500 by Finley for alleged misconduct aboard a chartered flight on August the 3rd. In an apparent compromise designed to head off a major dispute between the Players Association and Finley, both sides recognized the rights of the others in a formal 280-word statement issued by Eckert. Now, I don't know what that all means, do you? Let's try it again. Major League Players Association has agreed to withdraw charges of unfair labor practices against Kansas City A's owner Charles Finley. The charges have been filed with the National Labor Relations Board. Baseball Commissioner William Eckert made the announcement after meeting for 2 days with Finley, his attorneys, and A's player representative Jack Eckert. Eckert said he will review the suspension of pitcher Lou Krause, who was fined $500 by Finley for alleged misconduct aboard a chartered flight on August the 3rd. In an apparent compromise designed to head off a major dispute between the Players Association and Finley, both sides recognized the rights of the others in the formal 280-word statement issued by Eckert. Well, sorry I took up that much of your time. Bob Gibson, the batter, runners at second and third, scored 2-0 now in favor of the Cardinals. And Rick Wise gets ready. The pitch. High pop fly. Short right field. Johnny Callison is there, and he makes the catch. Gibson popped to Callison in short right. You know, if I thought that was all going to be so nebulous, you know, after all, that's an unprecedented meeting between a commissioner of baseball and representatives of a team and its players. I don't think it's ever been done before. That's why I sort of interrupted. But after I read it once, I couldn't quite comprehend, and after I read it twice, I was sure I couldn't comprehend. So here's Lou Brock. Runners at second and third. The score is 2-0. Infield in. 1 out. Rick Wise gets ready. The pitch is on the way. Half swing foul. Boy, the Cardinals could really go a long way towards building up. A fine lead right here. We get these 2 runs in. Runners at second and third. Here's the pitch. High fastball. That evens it up with a ball on a strike. 1 run is in. Runners are at second and third with 1 out. Ball game in the second inning. 2-0 in favor of the pennant-bound St. Louis Cardinals. Their magic number can go to 7. Here's the pitch. He had a cut and he missed strike 2. Lou was really going for a long one on a high fastball. Dick Ellsworth, the left-hander, getting ready. Bobby Tolan will be up there next. But this is a big out here because there's only 1 out. The infield in. Anything through that infield or over it would produce 2 runs. Cardinals already out in front 2-0. 2 strikes and a ball.
Here's the pitch. Outside ball two. The count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the signal. You know, in reflection, I guess the important thing about that statement I read is that the players have withdrawn their charges to the National Labor Board. Here's a pitch. Foul back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, I tell you, we're living in times where you have to have a lawyer just to understand whether today is today or tomorrow. Things are really getting complicated. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rick Wise is ready. The pitch is on the way. Oh, he struck him out on a high, bad ball. Brock started after it and tried to stop, but apparently he had gone around. Ooh, that hurt. Lou Brock strikes out. He chased the bad ball. He realized it. He tried to stop, but he had gone. The umpire set around. Here's Bobby Tolan, runners at second and third. The score, 2-0 in favor of the Cardinals. The infield now drops back. Cincinnati leads Pittsburgh 9-3 in the bottom of the fourth. Houston over the Cubs 3-0 at the bottom of the second. The Mets over Atlanta 3-2 at the end of 6. Here's the pitch. Almost threw it away. Here's around trying to score. Out! Javier on a short fastball. Tried to score, but he was cut down. The ball didn't roll as far away as he thought. And Javier is out from Dalrymple to wide. 1 run on the ball now. 2 hits. No errors and 1 run. At the end of 2, the Cardinals 2, the Phillies nothing.
See if you remember this play from the Cardinal past.
It's the bottom of the 5th, and the Cardinals trail Pittsburgh 3-2, but the bases are loaded, 1 away, and the Cards' young left fielder Stan Musial is at the plate with a count of 1-0. Rip Stoll with the bases loaded goes into a full windup, and here's the pitch. Musial swings.
The unexpected provides baseball's most thrilling moments, like Stan's home run in 42. But in driving, you want to avoid the unexpected, and DX Safety Lane Service can help you. It includes lubrication, plus a thorough inspection of 18 vital points that helps protect you from the unexpected hazards of driving. You pay only for a lubrication. The complete safety inspection is yours free from Sunray DX, the oil company known by the customers we keep.
We go to the top of the third, 2-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Red Sox taking a 3-1 lead at the end of 8. Boy, that American League race is really something. Bobby Wine takes the first pitch high. Wine is hitting 193. If it wasn't for the Cardinals, he'd be hitting 003. Seems like all of his hits have been against the Redbirds. Here's a pitch. Steal, right call, a fastball. That evens it up at a ball and a strike. Nobody on and nobody out, 3rd inning. Catcher Tim McCarver goes out. Talk to Bob Gibson. Washington now leads the Twins 4-1 at the end of 6. Well, let's see what happens if Washington beats Minnesota. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. Maxey's got it. Here's the peg. He's out. 1 out. Well, I don't know. I guess I could flip back through the pages, but when did Maxfield ever make an error?
think he's made 10 errors all year. Here's Rick Wise, the pitcher. If the Twins lose, which they're losing, if the Red Sox win, which they're winning, they'll be tied for first place. If Detroit wins, which they're losing, so let's say if they lose, which they're losing, they'd stay 2 games out. Here's the pitch. Wise swings and misses. If the White Sox lose, which they're losing, they would stay 2.5 out. So actually, here's a curve swung and miss. If the Twins lose and the Red Sox win, there will be a little more daylight between the top 2 and the next 2. Here's a curve low and outside. 2 strikes and a ball, 1 out. Now the pitch, here it is. Half swung foul tip. Well, let's see how I can figure this. I have to go through all the box scores on Maxville, but 1 man out. Here's the pitch. Strike! He's out of there. Wise call out on strike. First strikeout for Gibson. 2 men are gone. Cookie Rojas up there. Rojas batting .250 with 3 homers and 40 runs batted in. Cincinnati's murdering the Pirates 10-3. Here's the pitch. Swung and he fouled tip. 1 strike and no ball. 2 out. Shad Crawford picks up the loose ball and fires it to the pitcher. Now the signal. Gibson ready. Detroit just tied up Baltimore. And the 5th. Foul ball back. We're in the top of the 3rd. The Cardinals are leading 2-0. Trying to reduce their number to 7. And then if the Giants should happen to lose, it would go down to 6. Well, I think it's becoming obvious now that the Cardinals will either fastball low, clinch the pennant in Philadelphia on this road trip, or in St. Louis in a 4-game series starting against Atlanta September 21, Thursday night. 2 strikes and a ball. Cookie Rojas, the bat. 2 out, nobody on. We're in the 3rd. The pitch. Curveball low. And the count evens 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cardinal fans are here from Bloomington, Illinois. Now the delivery to Rojas. High curve. They're here from Augusta, Arkansas, Augsburg, Illinois, and Craig, Missouri. Brave balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody gone. 2-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Here's the pitch. A little tap foul off to the right. They're here from Washington, Missouri. From Monticello, Illinois. From Enid, Oklahoma. From Enid, Oklahoma. A honeymoon couple. Well. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4, he walked. First pass. Given up by Gibson. Well, our Bush wholesaler from Poplar Bluff, Missouri, are here. Tommy DeSalvo with a group. Tony Taylor, the batter, 2 out, a runner at first. The pitch. Low. Gibson is a little off with his control, but off low, which is not a bad sign at all. They're here from Burlington, Iowa. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out, a runner at first. The pitch. Tony Taylor takes a bullet, a strike call. They're here from Pocahontas, Illinois tonight. One of John Alden is with them. Miles Standish. Here's a pitch, inside. Who's that went with Pocahontas? Are you sure? John Smith. Here's the pitch. Swung and he missed, strike 2. I think it was either John Alden or Miles Standish. Well, they're rooting here for the Albertos, and I found out tonight that you can pick up those Bravo Bravo Alberto buttons with the Amity caricature on them. Caricature. Here at the ballpark now. 2-2 pitch. All 3. Boy, Gibson is so close to the plate on every pitch, and yet he just walked a man, and he's down to 3-2 on a scout. Tony Taylor waiting, the 3-2 pitch. Strike! Tony Taylor called out on strikes. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. The Cardinals 2, the Phillies nothing.
What can First National Bank in St. Louis do for you if you're planning a new home? First, at First National, you can work out a home financing plan that is precisely for you. Business-like, sensible. When you compare your plan, there are certain major benefits with the mortgage from First National. For example, you do not pay an appraisal fee, a credit report charge, or any charge for the preparation of documents. And if you're a depositor, you pay no service fees, no points against your home loan. Your monthly payments may be taken out of your First National checking account. And with the First National mortgage, you get a liberal prepayment privilege. In fact, you may prepay your loan in whole or in part without penalty in many cases, or with very low penalty. Come in and plan your home financing with an officer of First National Bank in St. Louis. Open 9 to 4, Monday through Friday, at the 511 Olive Street entrance, downtown.
Al Chance, even with a broken hand, you're beautiful. You know, you're absolutely right. It was Priscilla in relation to John Alden and Miles Standish. And it was Captain John Smith with reference to Pocahontas. We have gone 146 games, and Al Chance has finally been correct. Here's Bobby Tolan to lead it off, bottom of the 3rd. The score 2-0 in favor of St. Louis. Here's the pitch. Bobby bunts, but fouls. Strike 1. 1 strike and no ball. Tolan hitting .251. He was at the plate with runners at 2nd and 3rd in the 2nd inning when Javier tried to score on a short pass ball and was out. So he leads it off here in the bottom of the 3rd. 2-0, St. Louis. Now the signal given. The pitch by Rick Wise. High fastball. That evens it up, a ball and a strike. Or whether the crowd be big or small, our out-of-town friends are always here. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. High and inside.
They hear from Aberdeen, South Dakota tonight. Two balls and a strike. Bobby Tolan trying to get something started. Here's the pitch. High ball 3. Two busloads are here from the Lions Club of Carondelet. They're here from Washington, Illinois. The Wentzville Curry League Bantam team is here. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. He had a cut and he missed. And the count is 3-2. They hear from Davenport, Iowa, from Albuquerque, New Mexico. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bobby Tolan waiting. We're in the 3rd. Rick Wise pumps. Here's the pitch. Fowler back, had a good cut. The count is full of 3-2. Balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3 call. Bobby Tolan called on those strikes. He thought the pitch was bad and he's on his way towards first base. Here's a lady celebrating her 80th birthday, Mrs. Johns of Decatur, Illinois, here tonight. Here's Roger Maris, the pitch. Right, boy, Wise is starting to hit that low outside corner. Cleveland 4, White Sox 3 in the top of the 9th in Chicago. First game of a doubleheader. 1 strike, no ball. 1 out, nobody on. Maris, the batter. Here's the pitch. High pop foul, out of play. Strike 2. They're from Humboldt, Tennessee, and from Miller, Missouri, and from Maroa, Illinois. I don't know what this means. 2 strikes, no ball. I guess this is a hippie influence, this note. I'll read it to you in a moment. The pitch. Raj takes it low. Says, enjoying the ball game are a bunch of flowers from New Bern, Tennessee. I didn't see him walk in. 2 strikes and a ball, 1 out. The pitch. Line drive, base hit right center. The pitch is on the way. High fly, deep right center, but it'll be caught. Johnny Briggs is over and he has it. Cepeda flies to Briggs. Orlando has fallen into a slump. Here's McCarver. Cepeda's now 2 out of his last 21. 2 men are out. A runner at first, and here's McCarver. Tim bounced out his first time, hitting .305. 13 homers and 62 runs, batted in. Here's the signal given. Wise at the belt. The pitch to McCarver. Steve right call. Our fastball. They're here from Tecumseh, Kansas. Tecumsech. They're here from Parma, Missouri. There's a guy celebrating his 81st birthday. Gentleman named Faulkner from Parma, Missouri. The Athletic Association 300 strong from Ellisville are here. Now Tim waits the pitch. Bouncing ball right at White, easy out. Steps on the bag. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left. Cardinals have stranded 3, and at the end of 3, St. Louis 2, Philadelphia nothing.
When you've had a tough day and your work is through, now's the time to relax. Yes, sir. There's just one thing to do when you're due for a beer. Bush does it. Satisfies like no other beer can.
When you're due for a beer, Bush does it. Because Bush is brewed straight, the way beer was meant to be brewed, by Anheuser-Busch. Bush does it.
When you're due for a beer, Bush does it.
Delivers all the satisfaction a cold glass of beer can give you. You can't say beer better than Bush.
Let's pause here for identification. This is the Cardinals Baseball Network.
2 minutes till 9. KMOX FM, St. Louis. White Owl Rangers, Invincibles, New Yorkers. Yup, the stands are full of White Owl cigar fans. How come? Easy. White Owls are always where the men are. Temperature now 72.
This is Harry Carey and Jack Buck as we go into the top of the 4th with Johnny Callison taking the first pitch high. 1 ball, no strike. Cardinals leading 2-0. Trying to reduce their magic number to 7 and maybe to 6. The Giants should lose. Pitch, swung and foul back. Count evens at a ball and a strike. We're in the 4th. Gibson has a 1-hit shutout. 1 ball, 1 strike. Red Sox won their ball game 3-1 over Kansas City. The pitch. Line smashed it. 1 hop. Javier's got it over to first in time. Pooley moved to his right, grabbed Callison's smash on 1 hop, and threw him out. 1 gone. Here's Tony Gonzalez. Al Kaline has hit a homer with a man on for Detroit in the 7th. They have taken a 6-4 lead over Baltimore. So things are a little bit different than they were a few minutes ago in the American League. The pitch to Gonzalez, high. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 out and nobody on, top of the 4th. They're here from St. Petersburg, Florida to see the Cardinals. The pitch. Line drive over Maxey's head. Base hit. Gonzalez lines a single to left center. That is Tony Gonzalez's 1,000th hit of his career. Here's a couple from Johannesburg celebrating their 14th anniversary with their 5 children out here. They're here from Syracuse, New York, pulling for the Cardinals. Here's Bill White, or rather Johnny Briggs, and the first pitch is low, ball 1. They're from New Orleans tonight. The Ferguson Curry League is here. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. And it's low and inside. A retired railroad man from Evansville, Indiana, 78 years old, is here tonight. The stretch pitch. Fouled it back. Cleveland batting in the 9th leads the White Sox 4-3. They've been out a while.
Cleveland did not score, and Pena now is relieved for Cleveland in the bottom of the ninth. White Sox batting, trailing by 1. 2 balls and a strike to pitch. Double play ball to Hooley. He's got it on 1 hop. Maxey 1. Orlando 2. That ball was hit like a bullet. A low line drive on 1 hop. Hooley stabbed the ball, fired to Maxey, who relayed to Chico. And it's no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Cardinals 2, Philadelphia 0.
Aardvark Volkswagen, Mr. Meade.
Hi, I want a 67 Volks. The bug red. Can I have it around noon?
For a demonstration ride, you mean?
No, to buy.
Oh, well, lady, you don't buy a car over the phone. I mean, there are things that need explaining.
What's to explain? The motor's in the back for more traction. It's air-cooled, meaning no water, meaning it won't freeze up or boil over.
Yeah.
You get about 27 miles per gallon.
No.
Plus, the new 67 is 53 horsepower. They've added dual brakes, better light.
Yeah, I know.
Look, I read the ads just bring the car.
But there are little things.
Great. I love little things. I'm a little thing.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look, I know the Volks. I want it. Red, noontime.
Lady, it takes time. Anyway, we're out of rent.
How long would I have to wait?
Maybe a week. It depends.
I'll wait. I have a thing for red.
If you know what you want and it's a Volkswagen, you can call Southland Volkswagen Incorporated, 6000 South Lindbergh Boulevard in St. Louis.
Bottom of the 4th. Cardinals leading 2-0, trying to reduce the magic number to 7. Boy, that American League race, it sure changes. The Twins have closed in to within 1 of the Senators. Washington batting bottom of the 7, 4-3, Washington. Here's Gagliano doing a fine job. Here's the pitch. And it's a curve in there, a strike call. 1 strike and no ball. The Cubs have come back to tie Houston 3-3. The Mets lead Atlanta 3-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch. Ground ball headed for right. Another hit for Phil. Gagliano grounds a single into short right. Boy, he's been doing a great job. His average is 230, but he started from around 170, so he's really raised his average. Javier, the batter. Nobody out, a runner at first. We're in the 4th. Joe Schultz coaching him third. Dick Sisler at first. Now the signal. From the belt. The pitch. Curveball low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Red Sox have already won their ball game. At this very moment, they lead the Twins by, they're a half a game behind the Twins right now. 1 ball, no strike. Throw over to first, runner back. If the Twins lose, the 2 will be tied. If the Twins win, they'll still retain their 1-game lead. Here's the pitch. Low. 2 balls, no strikes on Hooley. A runner at first, nobody out. Ball game of the 4th. Final game of the series tomorrow night. You know something? You know, the Cardinals could clinch this pennant on the road. Tomorrow night might be your last chance to see them before they become champions. 2 balls, no strike. The pitch. High. Ball 3. The Redbirds moving in on the 2 million mark in home attendance. There's 65,000 away, and they'll have about 25,000 of it tonight. 3 balls, no strike. Runner at first. Here's the pitch. He walked him, ball 4. And the Cardinals have runners at first and second and nobody out. Already leading 2-0. You know, with this beautiful weather prevailing, And the Cardinals heading for a road trip after tomorrow night. Why don't you bring the family out tomorrow and see these Cardinals before they win the pennant? That's better than seeing them, I guess, after. Send them away to a rousing road trip by appearing here and cheering for them tomorrow night. Here's Maxwell. The pitch. Curveball low, ball one. I think being here tomorrow night might be just like being here when they went clinch the pennant. Because apparently it could happen on the road. From the belt. The pitch. Ground ball upfield, base hit. A run, maybe he's going to score. Here he comes. There goes another man to third. He'll make it easily. Maxfield gets his second hit in a row. A single to center, driving in his 38th run. The Cardinals lead 3-0. And that'll bring up Bob Gibson. Well, you know, a 226 batting average doesn't sound too tremendous. But the little guy batting eighth has driven in now 39 runs. Which is only a few less than Flood, who's had a great year. Kurt has driven in 45. Maxey has driven in now 39. That's only 11 less than Maris, and he's had a good year. Just to give you an idea, he's driven in more runs than Bill White of the Phillies. And here's Gibson with the infield in, nobody out. Runners at first and third. Rick Wise gets set. The pitch. Curveball low. Does anybody have a 15-run pool? You got a chance to win it. Look at Cincinnati tonight. 4 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 4 in the fifth. Runners at first and third. I think like I did, he assumed it was a base hit right off the bat. Because if he'd have charged the ball, he had a chance to catch it as it hung up there. But he fielded it on one bounce. And that makes it now 4-0. Still nobody out. And Dick Ellsworth is going to come in.
And the new pitcher is Ellsworth for the Phillies. Wise leaves after pitching 3 innings, allowed 4 runs. He leaves 2 men on, with reach for 8 hits. Struck out 3, walked 1, and hit 1. I want to tell you about the Cardinal Yearbook again, which is still available. If you come to the ballpark, you can purchase it at the novelty stands. And if you want to order by mail, the cost is $1 plus 35 cents for postage and handling. There's only one address to employ when you write for the Cardinal Yearbook, which is 72 pages big. Photos, facts, inside information, a lot of pictures, stories of the minor and major league Cardinal picture. And here's the address. Stadium Publications, 350 Stadium Plaza, St. Louis, Missouri. $1 plus 35 cents for postage and handling. Stadium Publications, 350 Stadium Plaza, St. Louis, Missouri, for the 1967 Cardinal Yearbook.
We're in the bottom of the fourth. The Cardinals are out in front 4-0. They have runners at first and second and nobody out with Brock, Tolan, and Maris coming up. And the Phillies have brought in the left-hander. Minnesota did not score in the top of the 8th. Boy, that's a big ball game for them. Here's Brock. 1 out of 2 left-handed batters. Into the stretch, Ellsworth, the pitch. They expect him to bunt. He takes low and outside, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. The Cardinals trying to make it 2 in a row in the series. Boy, this is what I always get a kick out of. Gals come to a ball game. The husbands watch the ball game, and the women don't even look at the field. 1 ball, no strike to pitch. And it's a curve outside. Ball 2. No strikes. And then they get home and they say, boy, what a wonderful ball game it was. The poor husbands try to watch the field. Here's the pitch. Curve outside. The women don't pay any attention. There's a group in the booth right to the right of us. I won't mention any names. But the wives haven't looked at the field yet. Three balls, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Low and outside. The bases are loaded. Boy, here's a chance at a great inning. The bases loaded and nobody out. 2 runs already in. And here's Kurt Flood going to bat for Bobby Tolan. The Cardinals are going for the offense here. Kurt Flood. Flood batting .323 with 4 homers and 45 RBIs. Bases are loaded and nobody out. 2 runs already in. Cincinnati leads the Pirates 14-7 in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Line drive, base hit. 1 run is in. Gibson's going to stop at third. Kurt Flood lined a single just beyond Cookie Rojas's reach. And that makes it 5-0. Gibson's at third, Brock at second, Flood at first. After Flood is 152nd hit of the year. And his 46th run batted in. Here's Roger Maris. He's had a perfect night. 2 out of 2. 5-0, St. Louis. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Grab ball, but right to Rojas. Looks like a double play. Wide for 1 and White for 2. Another run scores, though. Maris will not be credited with a run batted in. That ball was hit right on the nose. A low line drive, a 1-hop to Rojas, who flipped it to Wine, who relayed it to White. So there's a runner at third now with 2 outs. The Cardinals are leading 6-0. And here's Orlando Cepeda. 2 out of his last 21, and he is due. They're going to walk him. They're going to walk him intentionally. They don't care about that 2 for 21. They know that Orlando is more dangerous right now than ever because he's been in a little bit of a slump. So Cepeda will be intentionally passed. And I honestly believe that his little slump started with a multiplicity of bases on ball. In that Pittsburgh series, first game or so, they walked him almost every time he was up. And I think he kind of lost his touch as a result. Runners at first and third, and here's McCarver. He's 0 for 2. At first and third. The signal. Runners at first and third waiting, and here's the pitch. Tim takes it low. Ball one. Dick Ellsworth in a relief order. Oh, 4 innings, 4 runs in this inning have been charged to Rick Wise, so he is permitted 6 runs in the game. Ellsworth gets ready. 1 ball, no strikes. Dallas Green warming up in the bullpen for the Phillies. The pitch. Outside. Ball 2. Gagliano will be next. This is the 9th man to bat in the inning. The Cardinals have scored 4. They have 2 out. They have 2 on. You know, I think if the Giants lose tonight, the odds are the Cardinals will clinch it in Philadelphia next week. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3. If the Giants win tonight, I think the odds are the Cardinals will have a chance to clinch it at home starting Thursday night, September 21 against the Braves. We have a 4-game series, the final homestand. Thursday, September 21, Friday 22, Saturday 23, and Sunday 24. And that's it. At home until the World Series. And there's no telling when that will be because it's the American League. Ball 4, the bases are loaded. You know, that American League could wind up in a 4-way tie. They might be playing off just the American League until mid-October. Gagliano up there with the bases loaded. He's been hit by a pitch ball. He has singled. He has scored 2 runs. He's the 10th man to bat in the inning. He started it all with a single to right. The pitch by Ellsworth. Popped it up. Bill White in foul territory. He's got it to retire the side. But the Cardinals had a big inning. 4 runs. 4 hits. No errors, 3 left. The Cardinals have stranded 6. And at the end of 4, it's the Cardinals 6, the Phillies nothing. We go into the top of the 5th. The Cardinals, moving to a magic number of at least 7, and maybe 6 before this night is over, are leading 6-0. Bill White steps up there for the Phillies, and here to tell you all about it now is Jack Buck.
Okay, Harry, thank you. There's a lot going on here this evening. This is a busy ball game with 11 hits. The Cardinals 9, 2 for the Phillies. Cardinals leading 6-0. White leading off. And the ball is high from Bob Gibson to start the 5th inning. And the other ball games are sailing right along. Minnesota's batting in the 9th, trailing Washington by a couple of runs. Bill White corks 1 foul past first, and it's 1-1. Second game of the doubleheader starting between the Indians and the White Sox. Cleveland won the first game 4-3. Angels and the Yankees are playing a doubleheader, and the Angels won the first game. Detroit's out in front, 6-4 at the end of 7 over Baltimore. Nobody on or out here in the 5th inning, and Bill White, left-handed batter, takes the ball low. White grounded out his first time up. Cardinals a run on the first, a run on the second, 4 on the 4th, and they lead 6-0. The pitch, foul back to the screen, 2-2. Dallas Green, a big, tall right-hander, is warming up out in the bullpen. Jim Lonborg of the Red Sox won his 20th ball game of the year tonight, beating Kansas City 3-1. We wait for the 2-2 pitch to Bill White. It's a slider in on him, ball 3. It'll be White, Dalrymple, and Wine, and if anybody gets on, the pitcher Ellsworth is due to come up. The pitch is fouled back again by White. A full count of 3-2. Pittsburgh and the Reds have a wild one going. The score is 8, 10, 15 to 7 at the end of 6 in favor of the Reds. The pitch fouled in the air behind the plate. McCarver has a play. And he's got the ball for the out. Bill White is fouled out to start the 5th inning. McCarver hauled it in. The batter is Clay Dalrymple, the catcher, a left-handed batter. He popped out his first time up. Game time tomorrow is 8 o'clock. Larry Jackson will go for the visitors, and Dick Hughes will be the Cardinal pitcher. First one to Dalrymple is a little bit high. Bob Gibson on the mound, leading 6-0 and trying for his 12th win of the year. Dalrymple takes a change-up curveball in there for a called strike, 1-1. Gibson let up on the pitch and it drifted in there. Tomorrow, Hughes will be seeking his 15th win. He's the winningest Cardinal pitcher of the year. Dalrymple takes one high, ball 2. 2-1. We're waiting for that Minnesota final. They went into the 9th, trailing Washington 5-3. The pitch coming from Gibson. Taken low by Dalrymple. 3-1. McCarver stepped on the plate umpire. Crawford works very close to the catcher. Puts his hand on the catcher's back. And the two got all tangled up on that last pitch. The 3-1 delivery. Swung on, hit foul. Pass first. Pass Don Hope coaching down there. 3-2. One out, nobody on, 3-2 on the batter. He had a 3-2 count on Bill White. And it's 3-2 again on Dalrymple. Swung on, grounded to second. Javier has it, the pitcher has to cover. He's out. Gibson got over off the mound, covered first, and took the throw from Javier. 4-1 for the putout. 2 out. The hitter, Bobby Wine, grounded out his first time up. Right-handed hitter, the Philadelphia shortstop. Braves have been batting for quite a while in the bottom of the 9th. They went in trailing the Mets 3-2. The Mets have used 2 different pitchers, Brizenda, now Ron Taylor in the 9th inning. Gibson trying to set the Phillies down in order here. And the 5th pitches to Wine and throws low and away, ball 1. Atlanta scored 2 in the 9th and beat the Mets 4-3. The pitch swung on, hit to short. Big hop to Maxwell, the throw to first. He's out. Wine is out. Down in order go the Phillies in the 5th. It's now an official ball game as far as Bob Gibson is concerned. You'll recall he had to be taken out in the 6th inning the last time he pitched when his arm tightened up. We go into the bottom of the 5th inning and the Cardinals lead the Phillies 6-0. Becoming a major league player isn't something that happens overnight. All of the fellas here at this ballpark have spent a lot of time developing and improving. Beer is the same way. It takes time to brew a great beer, and that's why Busch is a great beer. It's brewed slowly, carefully, naturally, with patience and pride by Anheuser-Busch. And you know they care as much about good beer as you and I do. Maybe right now would be a good time to open a cold Busch. You can't say beer better.
Beer. Busch. You can't say beer better than Busch. When it's time to take it easy, time for a beer. Make it Busch. You can't say beer better than Busch.
We're going to pause for identification before the Cardinals bat in the 5th inning. Dick Ellsworth is on the mound for the Phillies in relief of Rick Wise. And Javier will be the Cardinal leadoff hitter, and this is the Cardinals Baseball Network.
932 KMOX, KMOX FM, St. Louis. Now get Cry Ball Game hot dogs, the hot dogs with leaner beef. If you can't find them where you shop, ask your butcher. Cry Ball Game hot dog, 71 degrees.
Javier leading off. Facing a left-hander, Dick Ellsworth. Hooley's been on base twice. He pops up this time. Fly ball into right center. Callison drifts to his right, and the right fielder makes the catch for the out. Javier jumped on the first one, but flied out. There's one gone in the Cardinal fifth. It brings to the plate Darryl Maxville, who's driven in 2 runs tonight. Maxie doubled in the second. He singled in the fourth. He scored a run and driven in 2, and he takes a strike. The little guy batting .226. He just can't get that batting average up, can he? And what a game he has played around shortstop for the past month or so. He has made eye-popping plays. Ball outside, and he's made those plays look easy. He's no showboat out there. He doesn't put on a big act. He either gets the ball or he doesn't. He sparkled in Pittsburgh, made some plays here last night. Flies into the same spot that the ball was hit by Javier, and Callison's going to get this one also. 2 out. Both Javier and Maxville have flied to right, and the batter is Bob Gibson. Gibson limps to the plate. He still walks with a perceptible limp. His right ankle is heavily taped as he pitches. But he and the Cardinals lead here in the 5th inning, 6-0. Well, Minnesota lost tonight to Washington. Strike call to Gibson. So the Red Sox are back in a first-place tie. And the Tigers, who are winning, could be only 1 game out again. And the American League just won't shape up. The pitch coming, high. And the White Sox, who lost the first game of their doubleheader, could actually gain a half game in the standings and be only 2 out if they can beat the Indians in the second game of their twin bill. 5-4, Washington beat Minnesota. A ball and a strike to count to Gibson with 2 out here. Curveball goes low from Dick Ellsworth. Ellsworth, 6-6 for the year. All 6 Cardinal runs charged to the Phillies starter, Rick Wise. Gibson drove in a run with a single, later crossed the plate. 1 out of 2. Line drive to center field, and that is a base hit in front of Johnny Briggs, the center fielder. Gibson gets his second hit of the night, and he's on with 2 outs. They only had 6,000 people in Washington this evening to watch the Senators beat the Twins. The Twins scored a run in the 9th. And the home run hit by Frank Howard in the 8th inning turned out to be the difference in the game. Bertano was the winner and Merritt the loser. That's one of the better pitchers of the Twins this year, Jim Merritt. His record is now 12-5. Brock is the batter with 2 outs. Curve in there, called strike. Cardinals have banged out 10 hits in this ballgame. And they lead 6-0. There have been no errors in the game. Brock taps one to third. Tough play for Tony Taylor. Throws. He's out. Pretty close play, but Tony Taylor from third base throws out Lou Brock. No runs. 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. The Cardinals have stranded 7. 5 full innings have been played, and the Cardinals lead the Phillies 6-0.
Got my friend sitting here today. Yes, sir, the Whiteout girl. Tell me, any new rules you'd like to see brought into the game?
Only one. I'll give every batter who reaches first base a box of White Owl cigars.
How's that going to help the game?
Well, more players will try to get to first base. It will make the game more interesting.
It sure would. You know, you could have your own rally. 9 guys could end up at first base. But do you really think that would work?
I know it would. You know how popular White Owls are. You see them everywhere. It's the famous White Owl tobacco that does it. It's aged slowly, mellowed carefully to bring out the mild taste, smooth flavor.
Do you really think the fans would go for that?
Why not? They're all White Owl fans, too. They know you get a lot more from a White Owl than just smoke.
And we heard the last few notes of Winchester Cathedral by Dick Renner and the boys. The ball game goes into the sixth. Detroit won their game. They pick up a full game on Minnesota. So the Tigers are only one game out again in that American League race. Winning 6-4 over Baltimore. Bob Gibson is on the mound, and Chuck Hiller, an infielder, formerly of the Giants and the Mets. Hiller is batting for Ellsworth. Leading off in the sixth inning, Chuck, a little left-handed batter, hasn't played too much for the Phillies. He's an infielder, second baseman primarily. Gibson's pitch to him is a strike call. Bob kept it away, and it's 1-1. It'll be Hiller, Rojas, and Taylor. The 1-1 from Gibson. Grounded to Cepeda. Big hop. He makes the play himself. One out. Cepeda trotted in and stepped on the bag, retiring Chuck Hiller on a ground ball to the right side. There's one out, and the batter is Rojas, who is grounded out and walked. Cardinals lead 6-0, sixth inning. Only 2 hits off of Bob Gibson in the game. He's allowed 1 walk. He's had only 2 strikeouts. But he's been making the Phillies hit the ball and primarily hitting the ball on the ground. Max Alvis has hit a home run in the first inning for Cleveland, so they're out in front of the White Sox in the second game of their doubleheader. After Cleveland won the first game, 4-3. Rojas, a base hit to left. Rojas lines a single into left, fielded by Brock. The Philly leadoff hitter is on there with 1 out. And the batter is Tony Taylor. He's 0 for 2. He flied to center. He's struck out. The new pitcher for Philadelphia in the sixth inning will be Dallas Green. Tony Taylor, the batter. Gibson's pitch is low. Carver caught that one in the webbing of the glove, did not know he had it. Started to look around for the ball. It was in the mitt. Ball 1. Now the pitch is a strike call. With Gibson going into the sixth inning here, Cardinals get a pitcher ready down in the bullpen. Larry Jaster starts to loosen up. The pitch coming to Taylor is low for a ball. Ball 2, 2-1. Rojas at first, 1 out. Ordinarily in this situation, with Rojas running and Taylor batting, you'd have to be very concerned about a hit and run. But with the Phillies trailing 6-0, they probably will play it close. The pitch. Swung on, double play ball to Maxville. Over to Javier. A lot of times, fellas, double play. And that's the reason ball clubs like to hit and run. But they couldn't do it because they're trailing by so many runs. They had to have Taylor just swinging away. He grounded it sharply to Maxville. Over to Javier and Julian to Cepeda for the DP. The second reeled off behind Gibson tonight in the sixth for Philadelphia. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. The double play and nobody left. The Cardinals come to bat in their sixth and they lead the Phils 6-0.
When you have money to save and want to earn a big 5% interest, you should look into a savings certificate at First National Bank in St. Louis. You don't want to let money dribble through your fingers, nor should it lie around while it could bring in a generous 5% annual interest. Now, a First National Savings Certificate is a guaranteed investment. Of course, your money's safe, all yours on maturity, and First National guarantees to pay 5% interest a year to individuals and nonprofit organizations. You can get a 5% certificate that matures in just 3 months. And if you don't want to cash it in then, First National automatically renews your certificate. And a First National Savings Certificate begins to earn 5% the day you buy it. It takes but a few moments to get your certificate of $500 or more, maturing in 3 months or longer, paying you 5% guaranteed annual interest at First National Bank in St. Louis, downtown.
This ball game now goes into the Cardinals' 6th inning, and Dallas Green is on the mound. He follows Rick Wise, a right-hander, and Dick Ellsworth, a left-hander, to the mound. Green, a right-hander. He's been in and out of the Philadelphia organization and up and down. 6'5", and he was worried until called up by the Phillies that he wouldn't get that necessary 5 years in to qualify for the baseball pension, but he qualifies now. The pitch to Flood. Ball one. Tolan started in center field. Cardinals came up with a key spot and Tolan at the plate against the left-hander, and Red went to Flood. Flood came through with a base hit and RBI. He's 1 for 1. Sidearm delivery outside and a bit high. Ball two. Flood leading off. Maris will follow, and then Cepeda. Outside, back to the screen as Dalrymple, the catcher, couldn't get to it. 3-0. They had 18,000 people at Detroit for that ball game this evening, which the Tigers won. Strike called to Flood, 3-1. And the Tiger victory puts them within 1 game of Minnesota. The Twins lost. Boston won, and they're back in a first-place tie with Minnesota. Bouncing ball to third by Flood. Taylor has to back up. Makes a quick throw. He's out. A third baseman never likes to back up on a ball, but once in a while, you have to play it that way. And Taylor, upon backing up, got rid of it in a hurry and threw Flood out. The hitter is Maris, who's 2 for 3 tonight, and an RBI. Maris, a left-hander. Ball one. Larry Jaster continues to throw in the Cardinal bullpen, an indication that Shane East and Billy Muffet, his pitching coach, will not go much further with Bob Gibson, who's already pitched 6 shutout innings and a 3-hitter. Cardinals lead 6-0. The delivery to Maris. Swung on, fouled off of Maris' leg. 1-1. Have a sign out there in the stand says Shiloh, Illinois. Win Cardinals. Oh, glad the folks from that town are on hand and enjoying the ball game tonight. The pitch to Maris, swung on, fouled out of play to the left. 1 out and nobody on in the 6th. The Cardinals scored a run in the 1st, a run in the 2nd, 4 in the 4th. Chased the Philadelphia starter. And Dallas Green is now on the mound for the visitors. Green has no record for the year. Dalrymple to the mound to talk to him. And Maris talks with the plate umpire. Ray Sadecki is going to pitch tonight. He goes for the Giants against Don Sutton of the Dodgers. Ball outside to Maris, 2-2. The Giants are getting along rather well without Marshall, aren't they? He's through for the year, has been. The 2-2 to Maris. Strike called on the outside corner. Maris is called out as Green put a fastball over the outside corner. For the second out of the inning, bringing up Cepeda with the bases empty. Orlando is 0 for 2 in the game. He'd like to touch one off right here. Takes a strike, a slider. He struck out, fly to center, and they put him on with a walk. Cubs have scored a run in the sixth. They lead Houston now 4-3 in the bottom of the sixth at Houston. Cepeda takes a ball. Started to go, held up. The ball went low, 1-1. One ball, one strike, 2 out. Nobody on. Cepeda jumps back from ball 2. Game time tomorrow, 8 o'clock, and after tomorrow, only 4 games remaining at home. The pitch. Swung on, grounded to third. Tony Taylor has it, and Cepeda is out. And that's the first time the Cardinals have gone down in order in the inning. Taylor threw out 2, and in between, Maris was called out on strikes. Dallas Green breezes through the 6th inning, and at the end of 6, the Cardinals lead Philadelphia 6-0.
Have more fun under the hot summer sun. Cool it with Busch. When you're out there under the hot summer sun, working up a thirst, break for a Busch. Nothing beats a frosty cold Busch to take the heat off. It cools you quick and easy. Delivers all the satisfaction a cold beer can give you. When you're due for a beer, Busch does it. Cool it this summer with a frosty cold bottle or can of Busch. You can't say beer better than Busch.
7th inning now. And even though Larry Jaster continued to throw in the bullpen, Bob Gibson goes to the mound to work the 7th. Cardinals lead 6-0. Gibson has a 3-hitter going. And Johnny Callison leads off. Left-handed batter, and the ball is high. Ball 1. Callison has 1 of the 3 hits. Singled, grounded out to Javier. Gibson with 1 walk, 2 strikeouts, and 3 hits in the game. He's been the boss. He pitches. Callison swings, drills it into right center. Maris on the run, grabs the ball with 1 hand. There have been a few well-hit balls against Gibby tonight, but right at somebody. There was another right there. Line drive to Maris in right field. 19,932 paid. 3,432 youngsters, not holders. 23,364 total. Tony Gonzalez is the batter, and Gibson gets out in front of him. And a ball low to Gonzalez. Gonzalez is 1 for 2. The Cardinals are going to have to average some 9,000 people in their remaining 5 dates to reach the 2 million mark. Gonzalez with 1 out, bounces 1 foul off to the right, running the count to 1-2. We're in the 7th, and the Cardinals lead 6-0 on a very pleasant baseball evening. A breeze blowing.
was around 80 in St. Louis today. Imagine it's right at the 70 mark now. Gibson out in front of his hitter, one of the leading hitters in the league, Tony Gonzalez, with a 1 for 2. Outside. Gonzalez, since playing every day, and he used to be platoon, hitting only against right-handers, has gone wild. Clemente batting .350, Gonzalez .342 at the start of the evening's play. Then Cepeda at .337. The 2-2 delivery, base hit into center field. Gonzalez singles here with 1 out. Flood over and up with the ball, and Gonzalez stops at first base. Flood, playing center, still has to underhand the ball in. He's getting pretty good at it. His arm seems to be getting a little stronger. The hitter is Johnny Briggs. Strong left-handed hitter. He is tapped out to the pitcher and grounded sharply into a double play. He fouls one. Strike 1 off the foot of McCarver. Ball hit McCarver's shin guard and then rolled right down the third base foul line to Gagliano. Pittsburgh batting in the 9th inning, trailing Cincinnati 15-7. Pirates are already mathematically eliminated from the pennant race. Briggs takes a ball. Fastball and sunk low and away. Sunk low and away or sank low and away? Make it dipped. A ball and a strike to the hitter. Runner at first, 1 out. There's a high foul ball down in the right field corner. Souvenir for somebody. Who's going to get it? Gibson out in front of Briggs now, 1 and 2. On deck, Bill White. The middle of their batting order, all left-handed hitters. Callison, Gonzalez, Briggs, White, and Dalrymple. There's a fly ball to short left center. Flood was playing deep. He's on the run, and he can't get it. Traps the ball. And it's a base hit, and runners are on at first and second. Flood was playing deep and around to the right, and the ball was hit somewhat into left center, and Flood couldn't get it. Shane Eanes comes out, and Gibson may lead with 1 out here in the 7th inning. It was in the 6th inning over in New York when he was relieved. And he reported that his arm tightened up the inside of the elbow. So Red comes to the mound, and he has 2 pitchers warming up, a left-hander Jaster and a right-hander Torres. And he wants the southpaw Jaster. And Mike Torres continues to throw. So Gibson pitched 6 1/3, no runs yet, 5 hits. He struck out 2 and he walked 1. And he gives way to Larry Jaster, who's trying to find himself after struggling a bit in starting assignments. And Jaster comes into the ball game with White and then Dalrymple coming up. Runners on at first and second and only 1 out. 7th inning and the Cardinals leading 6-0. The fans accord Gibson fine round of applause as he leaves with a very good chance of picking up his 12th victory of the year. Had to look and make sure. And while Larry Jaster warms up and gets ready to pitch to Bill White, we're going to pause for identification. Phillies got a pitcher ready down in their bullpen, Dick Hall, and Mike Torres, the right-hander, is now joined by Ron Willis, a right-hander, in the Cardinal bullpen. So a lot of things happening out here. This is the Cardinals Baseball Network. 4 minutes till 10, KMOX, KMOX-FM, St. Louis. Want to add a special touch to your meal to please the family or impress someone? Serve Hassie olives, the olives that come only from Seville. Temperature 70. 2 on and only 1 out. Bill White standing off at the side of the plate, contemplating how he's going to get his first hit of the night. He's 0 for 2.
Down to the second, fouled out to the catcher, and he's the first man to face Larry Gaster. Gaster still taking his warm-up tosses. Minnesota was defeated tonight. The Red Sox won over Kansas City and moved into a first-place tie. The Tigers won, and they're only one game out. The White Sox lost their first game to Cleveland, and they're still 2.5 out. The American League in a nutshell. They move Kurt Flood into straightaway center field. More and more, we've seen Tim McCarver this year take charge behind the plate and directing defensive traffic for the Cardinals. The pitch coming to Bill White now, and he swings and misses. Strike one. White Sox are now trailing 2-0 in their second game. Alvis and Fuller have homered for Cleveland. So the White Sox on their way to a double defeat, although it's early in the nightcap. The next pitch to Bill White from Larry is high with a fastball. 1-1. 2 on and only 1 out. The Cardinals here would like to reel off their third double play of the night and keep the goose eggs up on the scoreboard for the visiting Phillies. They're good base runners. Gonzalez at second and Briggs at first. White the batter on 1-1. He fouls it back to the screen. And now Gaster's out in front of him, 1-2. Bob Gibson in 6 1/3 innings allowed no runs but leaves 2 men on. 5 hits, struck out 2 and walked 1. And look good doing it. Throwing hard, throwing free and easy. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gaster delivers to White and a high pop fly on the infield. The batter's automatically out on the infield out, and Gagliano catches the ball, 2 gone. Bill White is retired by Gaster, 2 men out. And now Gene Oliver comes up to bat for Dalrymple. Mike Torres is no longer throwing in the bullpen. Ron Willis is, along with Joe Horner. Being the devilish sort that I am, I was hoping that Torres would come into the game, and Oliver, being the expressive gentleman he is, would have really seen something. He's going to bat for Dalrymple. Dalrymple was 0 for 2. Gene Oliver, the former Cardinal who started this year with Atlanta, is at the plate with 2 on, 2 out. Gaster will try to get him and preserve the shutout. First delivery to Gene. Low for a ball to the right-handed hitter from Moline, Illinois. He wants the umpire to check the baseball. Sadecki for the Giants tonight, and Sutton for the Dodgers. That ball game just started. We're going to the home half of the 7th. Cardinals leading 6-0. The Cincinnati-Pittsburgh game is over. Pittsburgh had 16 hits, and Cincinnati had 23. 39 hits in the game, and Cincinnati won it 15-7. The winner was Bob Lee, who started, and the loser was Beal. Every year you look for that Beal to win 20, but never does.
Well, not too many do, Jack.
Yeah, but throw like Beal, who can throw like that, gets off to the good start. Always has a crack at 20, but never quite does it. Was that a chain letter you got? McCarver leads off. Dallas Green, who set the Cardinals down in order in the 6th inning, pitches to Tim in the 7th, and the first pitch is a ball.
Jack, here's a guy sends a $20 bill. And he wants 10 seats near the infield for one of the weekend World Series games.
Well, do it. Strike call. You've been here 23 years. You ought to be able to manage something like that.
Just so happens that the price per ticket is $12. If I get him 10 seats, it only cost me 100 because he sent me 20.
You got it.
I got the cash.
The pitch coming. McCarver drills one, and it's there down into the right field corner for next to base knock. Tim heads for second. Callison up with the ball, and McCarver has a leadoff double here in the seventh inning. And that's his first hit of the night. Tim needed that one to keep the batting average up. He was batting .305 at the start of the night.
Jack, just excuse me, but this is, I was being a little facetious. This is from a lieutenant commander who's coming home from Vietnam on the 20th.
Now what are you going to do?
Well, now I feel a little more sorry about it, but I still don't have $120.
The batter is Gagliano with a runner at second. The pitch. Strike call. Phil has had a good night. Been on base twice, hit by a pitch, and he hung in the ballgame. They wanted to take him out, but he stayed in. He later singled and popped out. He has 1 out of 2. Runner at second, nobody out. Trying to drive in his Memphis buddy. There's a long fly ball to left. Near the track, back near the wall. Gonzalez, and he's got it. McCarver tags up at second, but cannot advance. Gagliano made a bid for his third home run of the year and was about 3 feet shy. He sent Gonzalez into the very corner of the ballpark, back on the track. He could have gone about 1 more step. He made the catch for the first out. The hitter is Javier. At the end of 7 innings, the Cubs lead Houston 4-3. That's the score by which Atlanta defeated the Mets 4-3. Giants just starting at Los Angeles, and Cincinnati won over Pittsburgh 15-7. That's what's happening elsewhere in the National League. American League, Minnesota lost. The Red Sox won and moved into a first-place tie. The Tigers won. They're only 1 game out. Fly ball to center by Javier. Briggs is there. McCarver will not advance. There's the catch, and Tim back to second with 2 out. So the leadoff double may be wasted. It's up to Maxville, who already has contributed with 2 out of 3. Maxey has 2 RBIs tonight. Gibson has 1, Flood 1, Maris 1, and another scored while a double play was being reeled off by the Phillies. Maxville has doubled, singled, and flied to right. First ball is low to him. The Angels are batting in the 9th of the second game, treading the Yankees 2-1. The Angels won the first game in extra innings 2-1. So if it stays like that, the Yanks and Angels will split. The Angels will pick up a half game. Maxville takes the curve over but low. Gene Oliver, after batting for Dalrymple, has taken over behind the plate. Grant Jackson, a left-hander, starts to warm up in the Philadelphia bullpen. And Mike Torres continues to warm up for the Cardinals. 2 balls, no strikes. Ball 3. So Larry Jasper may get a chance to hit with men on base. 3-0 to Maxville. Wonder if he'll be hitting. You doubt it. Jasper's a pretty good hitter. He was swinging and he grounds it to third. Taylor has it, throws him out, and the inning is over. I don't know if Maxwell ever swung on 3-0 before, but they gave him the green light that time, and he grounded to third. So the leadoff double by McCarver is wasted in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. The Cardinals have left 8. 7 full innings have been played, and the Cardinals lead Philadelphia 6-0.
You know, any little leaguer can tell you the difference between a slider and a curve. The language of baseball isn't any mystery to even the youngest Cardinal fan. But the language of tires, now there's a mystery even adults can't unravel. All that gibberish about cords and triple ply ratings, well, that's why B.F. Goodrich came up with a tire value calculator. It translates all that confusing tire talk into 7 simple questions. It asks you how much driving you do and on what kind of roads. It asks you how you drive and how long you plan to keep your car. Then it recommends a tough BFG tire to match your type of driving. The BFG tire value calculator saves both time and talk. But best of all, it can actually save you money because it never recommends more tire than you need. You'll find the tire value calculator only at your B.F. Goodrich dealer. So stop by the B.F. Goodrich dealer or store nearest you and put a stop to mysterious tire talk.
We go into the top of the eighth. The Cardinals are still out in front, 6-0. Larry Jasper to the relief of Bob Gibson. Gibby was just great so far tonight. Such a big improvement over his first start when he wasn't bad either. And he'll get another 2 or 3, maybe 4 starts. And he might just wind up being the hero of the World Series before it's all over. Here's Bobby Wine, the shortstop. 6-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Larry Jasper's pitch. Swung on, fly ball, center field, Kurt Flood. He could catch this one blindfolded. 1 out. You know, I've just opened up a few more letters, and likewise, they're from servicemen. But you know, honestly, we just simply do not have a thing to do with the World Series tickets, and writing to us, and especially sending money is, well, I wish you wouldn't, because things can happen to the dough, and we can't get the tickets for it anyhow. This Billy Cowan, pinch hitter, hits a ground ball. Gagliano's got it over the first in time. 2 up, 2 down. Larry Jasper's retired 4 in a row. The score, 6-0 in favor of the Cardinals, who will make their magic number 7. San Francisco, Los Angeles just getting started. Should the Giants lose, by the way, the magic number then would be 7, with a chance to make it 6 tomorrow. And then we go on the road for 6 games. Here's Cookie Rojas. The pitch is low, ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Six to nothing in favor of the Redbirds. Fred Flagg of the National League office on hand. Here's the pitch. Fastball a little bit high. 2 balls, no strikes. The White Sox in danger of losing a doubleheader. Here's the pitch. Strike call. Three balls in the strike. Now the wind, the pitch. Strike 2 call. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Cookie Rojas, the batter. He's bounced to short, walked, and single. 1 out of 2. 2 men away in the top of the 8th. Cardinals leading 6-0. The pitch. High pop fly, that will be easy. Orlando in foul territory. He's got it, and the inning is over. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. We go into the bottom of the 8th. The Cardinals 6, the Phillies nothing. Say, friends, have you seen the new bottle cap that Busch has on handy no-return bottles? It's more fun, and it's called an easy twist cap. Looks just like a regular bottle cap, yet you can twist it off with just a turn of your hand. Works either way, with a bottle opener or by hand. It's a new and convenient way to enjoy Busch. Look for the word Easy Twist on the side of the 6-pack. Handy bottles with the new Easy Twist cap, now available at no extra cost. One more reason why you can't say beer better than Busch. When you do for a beer, Busch does it. Satisfies like no other beer can.
Busch delivers all the satisfaction a cold glass of beer can give you. You can't say beer better than Busch.
We go to the bottom of the eighth. Glenn Jackson is the new pitcher for the Phillies. Cardinals leading 6-0. Here's a poem from Hank Brody. Hardly anyone picked the Cards to win. They were all afraid like it was a sin. I understand and I know that it's true that Harry Carey picked them 1 or 2. Manager Red, he's the best in the game. They all respect him and he does the same. Their hitting, pitching, and fielding is great. The fans all love them. Just look at the gate. They will win the pennant, World Series too. If I'm not right, I'll buy the world a brew. Bush. Larry Jaster hitting the first pitch. Ground ball. Cookie Rojas. Great stop. And throw. He got him. Beautiful play. Cookie Rojas went behind second base. A brilliant play on a ground ball and took a base hit away from Larry Jaster. 1 gone. Here's Lou Brock. He's 1 out of 3. Here's a young man sends a note up. Says, I'm going to Vietnam tomorrow. Please say goodbye to Marcia for me. I don't know Marcia, pal. Here's the pitch. Swung and he fouled it back. Out of play. Strike 1. That's what I call a bashful boy. But Marcia, wherever you are, a boy going to Vietnam wants to say goodbye to you. Lou Brock up there. The pitch, he swings and he foul tips back. 1 away. Nobody on base, bottom of the 8th. Cardinals leading 6-0. This game, just like the pennant, is just a matter of time. Here's the pitch. High pop foul. Tony Gonzalez coming over. Can't reach it in the bullpen. And Lou Brock will have another try. The Giants didn't score in the first at Los Angeles. The Cubs are leading at Houston 4-3 in the bottom of the 8th. Atlanta edged the Mets 4-3. Cincinnati over the Pirates 15-7. Washington downed Minnesota 5-4. Cleveland beat the White Sox 4-3 in the first game and lead 2-0 at the end of 2 in the second game. The Yankees split with the Angels. Red Sox beat Kansas City 3-1. Detroit over Baltimore 6-4. Bill Campbell, how are you? 2 strikes, no ball. Here's the pitch. Swings and he run, Lou, come on. The ball gets away from the catcher, but Brock didn't see it. He was standing at the plate. It rolled about 25 feet behind Oliver. However, he recovered in time to get Brock. 2 up, 2 down, and here is Kurt Flood. Who do you want for your star of the game?
Harry, you know the rule. Winners take first choice.
I know, but I feel beautiful tonight. Where a magic number will be 7. I want to be magnanimous.
You have every right to feel beautiful.
Who would you like you may have?
I think I'd like to talk to Dal Maxwell.
You have it. Swung on the miss by Flood.
Wonderful would be the winner against your disposition.
Bill Campbell, one of these Philadelphia broadcasters. A great fellow, by the way. Here's a pitch. And it's low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'll tell you, Harry, this is really playing great baseball. You really have to admire the way they play, even when they're knocking your brains in. They're really battling.
I just hope we don't flatten out too much. Hope we can clinch it, get a little rest, and then get back into high gear. Here's the pitch, and it's high. Because that American League team, whichever one it might be, is going to be tough.
I'll tell you, Harry, I really thought we were going to come in here in these 3 games and sting you a little bit. You know how you get a feeling? We're just playing pretty well, even without Allen, and we won 3 in a row, and you know what happened to us a few years back. And to be very honest with you, I thought we were going to come in and maybe hurt you a little bit, but you can't hurt a club when they play this well. They're really playing excellent baseball.
How about Richie Allen, Bill? How bad off really is he?
We were just saying over there, Richie Ashburn and I, that we think the pitchers in your clubhouse must have a fight in the clubhouse to see who's going to pitch against us. You know what it means to play without him, Harry, especially with our lineup. He's coming along all right. He's in a contraption, Harry, that you wouldn't believe, from his shoulder to his fingertips. And we're worried about whether or not he'll have good movement in his fingers. There's a problem about it.
What I can't understand, how can a guy making $85,000 a year be driving a Model T Ford?
We've got a lot of players like that. We had a guy, a bonus player named Kurt Simmons, and you had once cut his foot off with a lawnmower.
Here's Flood taking a pitch low. You It's really not funny, and it's not... There's nothing to be facetious about, but the thought, of course, occurs. There's a guy that could be driving Rolls Royce if he wanted it, but he's pushing a Model T Sliver around the street. Well, I think he has a brand new Cadillac, but he fools around with his car. And, you know, Harry, it's the spirit of brotherly love. Don't let somebody else do it. We'll do it. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Flood. Here's the pitch by Grant Jackson. Fouled it back. Well, this young left-hander's looked good against us a few times. We've seen him, Bill. Jackson.
He's going to the instructional league, where we'll have a team for the first time this year, and he's got to learn to get the breaking ball over, Harry. He has a lot of trouble with the curveball. Good fastball.
3 balls, 2 strikes the pitch. Ground ball to short, that'll be easy. Bobby Wine up and throwing. He's out. 1, 2, 3, nothing across. At the end of 8, the Cardinals 6, the Phillies nothing.
See if you remember this play from the Cardinal past.
We're coming right down to the wire in the final game of the World Series with the Cards and the Red Sox tied 3-3 in the last of the 8th. Eva Slaughter is on at first base, and Harry the Hat Walker steps to the plate. Here's the stretch, the look towards first. Here comes the pitch. There goes Slaughter. Walker swings at the line drive. Just over Pesky's head out of right center field. Slaughter is rounding second. He's heading for third. Culverson fields the ball in right center. Here's the relay into Pesky. Slaughter doesn't break stride. He's going to try for home. Here's the throw by Pesky. Slaughter flies, and he stays.
That unexpected play gave the Cards the 46 series. But don't let the unexpected happen while you're driving. Avoid running short of cash with a DX credit card. Good for quality DX products and services. It's honored in all 50 states and Canada and at Ramada Inns everywhere. See your DX dealer about your DX credit card. From Sunray DX, the oil company known by the customers we keep.
The Cleveland Indians now lead the White Sox 4-0. In the bottom of the 3rd at Chicago, the second game of the doubleheader, Cleveland won the first game 4-3. Well, the way it stands right now, Minnesota and Boston are tied for first place, identically. Detroit is 1 game out. The White Sox right now are 2.5 out. They lose that second game, they'd be 3 back and be starting to fall. Here's top of the 9th. Joster's first pitch swung on. High fly ball. Hit by Tony Taylor into deep right field. Maris in the corner makes the catch. Roger Maris raced in the right field corner and took care of Taylor's foul ball. 1 out. The Dodgers didn't score in their first. The Giants at Los Angeles no score at the end of 1. The Cardinals about to reduce their magic number to 7. Should the Giants happen to lose, it will be 6, with 1 game here tomorrow night and 6 on the road before we return home. Here's Callison, 1 out of 3, the pitch. Strike call. 1 strike and no ball, 1 out. Johnny Callison is single in the first, rolled out and slide out. Larry Jaster delivers the pitch. High pop fly, easy out. Maxfield getting back. Under the ball. He's got it 2 away. Callison popped to Maxfield. 2 men are out. And here is Tony Gonzalez, who's raised his average to .344 with 2 out of 3. Orlando Cepeda has fallen into a slump. 2 out of 23 now. Here's Jaster's pitch. He had a cut and he missed. Strike 1. Bob Gibson pitched a beautiful 6 in the 3rd innings, allowing 5 hits and no runs. Struck out 2, walked 1. The delivery, high pop foul out of play. 2 strikes and nothing. The Cardinals out in front, 6-0. Bob Gibson will be scoring his 12th victory of the year. Larry Jaster with the save. Now Larry gets ready. The signal is given. Here's the pitch. And it's high. 2 strikes and a ball. Houston batting in the bottom of the eighth. The Cubs lead 4-3. Tony Gonzalez with 2 out of 3. He is second to Roberto Clemente in hitting. Now to wind up the pitch. Ground ball, a line drive right back to Jasper. The magic number is 7. Gonzalez line to Jasper. Oh, that ball was really hit. And Larry caught that ball in self-defense. 1, 2, 3. The St. Louis Cardinals' magic number now is 7. Boy, it's only been about a month, I guess, if that long, when we started right here at home. Starting the countdown at 42. We have gone from 42 and now we're down to 7. And before we wake up in the morning, maybe it'll be down to 6. The Giants playing in Los Angeles, no score at the end of 1. In the event the Giants loses, the magic number then will be 6 going into tomorrow night's game. We'll be back with the totals here in a moment.
When you have money to save and want to earn a big 5% interest, you should look into a savings certificate at First National Bank in St. Louis. You don't want to let money dribble through your fingers, nor should it lie around while it could bring in a generous 5% annual interest. Now, a First National Savings Certificate is a guaranteed investment. Of course, your money's safe, all yours on maturity, and First National guarantees to pay 5% interest a year to individuals and nonprofit organizations. If you need the money soon, you can get a 5% certificate that matures in just 3 months. And if you don't want to cash it in then, First National automatically renews your certificate. And a First National Savings Certificate begins to earn 5% the day you buy it. It takes but a few moments to get your certificate of $500 or more, maturing in 3 months or longer, paying you 5% guaranteed annual interest at First National Bank in St. Louis, downtown.